This is a video demonstration to discuss web services, or our ability to support RESTful web services and any type of web service command. First of all, we want to talk about web services a little bit and show that we have two sites set up here. We have a single site here, and we also have another site here that talks about these content services or these web services. So basically what we've done in the sample Centralpoint QC is we have a sample web service and also how to set that web service up within the Windows Foundation Service, WCF, step by step how to do that sort of thing. And we also have the ability to port information from one site to another. So basically we have another site set up here. Let me just move this up out of the way. Okay. And here this site here is allowing us to reach out to the other site to pull in that web service. So we've turned on a trace so you can see exactly what's happening here within the screen. And let me shrink this down so it appears properly in your screen. Here's all the information that's being pulled in from that web service bit by bit. Now, how is this happening? Well, what we're doing is we're pulling, in this example, a ID from one portal to another, and that ID is bringing back the data for the record that we've requested. So here's all of the data here in XML format. Here it is in JSON format, and of course the different web services are so specific that you might be running against Centralpoint. Typically, it's a query against Centralpoint to say, give me whatever it is you want. Give me all these documents, or give me all these records as it pertains to this type of user or that type of user. So the get kind of command that you're going to be sending to us, whether it be in PHP or in whatever language you prefer, is fine. We support these web services so that we can provide that information back to you in whatever way that you need. We also have in our SDK samples, step by step of how to manage these, how to set these up. And we can also make it very easy, because sometimes when you're making this request against us, or you're consuming a web service from Centralpoint, you might not be able to manage the information as well as we can. That's not to say that we're better developers or anything, but there might be certain challenges that you don't have the time to do, you don't want to do, and so basically we have ways of prepping that data for your web service, so it's very lightweight, and we can return it to you in any way that you like. Here is an example. Let me just find an example here of some simple results. And this is a module called Data Sources, found within Centralpoint under Design, where we might need to return, this set of records. Now, maybe you're querying only these records. Maybe you're querying, you want all of these records, whatever the case might be. So what this is basically a way for us to truncate, flip around, present, output any information we need to. It's even possible for you to request that information, using AJAX or jQuery, in which to pull out the HTML exactly as you want it formatted. We might do the formatting of that HTML or stylizing of that HTML in Centralpoint, and you just might want it quick and ready to go. So whether it be raw data that you want to pull out and format any way that you need to through a web service on your own, within your own systems, or whether you'd like it kind of prepped and ready to go, we'll call it ordering takeout, or taking it to go, we can also provide that type of thing so that whatever your output or needed thing is, it's ready to go. We know what it is. We can employ all sorts of things like cache or information, certain rules around that type of thing for formatting. We do support jQuery. Data Sources also allows us to pull out any activity from any form that's been submitted. So, for example, we could have anything from a form that's been set up at some point in time in the past. We might have different, like for example, here is some form that's on the site today. To generate the SQL or the data to pull that out, we have tools that allow us to do that without having to know how to speak SQL or how to do this database programming. We also have the ability to pull out any type of content from Centralpoint that we want to. For example, if I want all records from this site, but only these fields, and again, of course, you can, through a web service, pull all this data and do the same thing. I'm just trying to show you the control that we have to provide this information to you in a very quick and efficient way through that web service. We want that in a grid view. We might want to apply certain filters on that. We only want these types of records from those types of audiences with those types of roles. So again, data sources, you need not use data sources. You can just use your web services and say, look, give me the raw data. I'll do the work on my end and flip it around and present it how I want to. But I think it's worthwhile to take a look at data sources to see how it can actually assist the web services that you are calling. We also consume web services ourselves in the same way. So Centralpoint can be either fed or consumed from using web services, so JSON, XML. Another interesting point here is that you might even want to take a look at the various ways that we can syndicate data. So what we're looking at here are live syndicated feeds of data that are coming from Centralpoint in a variety of different formats. Now, this little feed right here, again, all the rules of what feed we're making available, can be modified. If we needed to create some modification to that XML in which to feed another system had a very specific way of consuming it, well, we can apply the XSLT and provide that, that short list just the way they want it, live anytime they want it. So the syndication library that you see here, and by the way, this also supports JSON, Atom, RSS, just about any type you can think of. So this becomes a very nice way of providing data live, a nice organized library of what syndicated feeds we have created here, who we're feeding or who's consuming from these feeds. Again, you can do this through web services all by yourself, but this is just a nice way of organizing it. And a lot of times we'll provide this type of thing for those that do mobile app development or some third-party vendor you need to partner with. So syndication is definitely worth taking a look at just to familiarize yourself with it so you can understand that this information, which is centralized in Centralpoint, is portable and able to be syndicated and made available for others to consume.